Hey there, Tiffany here with Years of Years, and it's this day in Disney for September 28th. And to start off, we're heading to 1931 with a very early Silly Symphony. The Clock Store was released on this day by Disney Studios. And this was a really interesting Silly Symphony. It was directed by Wilfred Jackson, and the music was by Frank Churchill. So I really enjoyed this Silly Symphony, and it's black and white, but that doesn't mean that it's not really well done. It has some great qualities to it. I very much like the details that they took and the time they took to represent all the clocks. So basically you have the scene sets up with actually this older gentleman going through the streets, snuffing out all the street lights, and it reminded me of Dumbledore in the first Harry Potter movie, so I thought that was kind of cute. But you know, he gets to the last light, and it pans in on a clock shop, and the clock shop, of course, is coming to life, and we get to see all the things the clocks do at night while we're sleeping. So it's really sweet that way. And they have different iterations of the different things. Like there's a beautiful dancing couple, there's boxers, there's all sorts of different things that these clocks do that mimic what we do in our real life. So that's really fun. This short actually reminded me of TikTok, and that's an episode of This Day in Disney we covered a while back, and it was another clock shop that came to life, only it's way in the future and full color and more three-dimensional, and that was a Pixar short. So you're gonna have to go revisit that and maybe compare the two. It's kind of interesting. So the critic at the time actually was saying, oh, this is just another clock shop coming to life, but I disagree. I think they did a really good job on detail, and you can see the progression that they're having with their art in these shorts. And that's what really impressed me. Even though it's black and white still, it's not quite that color and refined as it gets. And we all know that Walt set up for the animators to do art classes, to hone their skills, and things like that. So I think with this short, I definitely saw a progression in their talent. So it was really good, and I enjoyed the music as well. So you definitely need to go, check it out. What is the fascination with clock shops and shops like that coming to life at night? I think it has led to things like Toy Story and toys coming to life at night as well. But I think it's the mechanics of a clock and how, they're always working, they're always kind of alive, and so it's really easy for us to kind of send our minds to a place of fantasy of them coming to life because they're already partway there. So really fun short, go check that one out. And then next up on This Day in Disney in 1938, this is really interesting to me. Fantasound, the sound that they actually created and used for Fantasia was tested on this day. So the Fantasound surround system is tested, and it's an early stereophonic process developed by sound engineers William E. Garity and mixer John N.A. Hawkins. And Garity has taken separate recordings of all the sections of the orchestra. So it's 4 separate recordings that he takes. And then they, have audio tracks of those, which are recorded as optical tracks on a separate reel of film. And then the 4 tracks will drive some 54 different speakers positioned around the theater showing of Fantasia. So this is the beginning of, what we experience now with like the 5.1 surround sound, and then of course like Dolby sound, all these things that they've done. You know, they did this and we're working on it with Fantasia, and I just didn't even realize that this was something that Walt Disney Studios was delving into, but it was really because of Stokowski, and you know, he's the composer who did all the great music or conducted the music for. Walt actually met him at a restaurant and asked if he would conduct the music for Fantasia, and he agreed to it. And he was already participating in experimental stereophonic sound you know, things, and so he's already experimenting with that. He was very interested, and I think he was the one kind of that brought it up or pushed for it. So he was an enthusiast. So very, very, very interesting how Disney Studios is at the forefront of so many things that have kind of affected our modern day way of doing stuff, especially with film, animation, and now apparently, as I've learned, sound. It's really incredible, and what a great movie to start out with, to do some sort of technique. And you know, it's obvious that Walt was just delving into everything because they had the, you know, circle vision 360, you know, cameras, and they were putting, you know, 9 different cameras in a circle and getting these amazing shots, and just all the cool things that they were coming up with and thinking of at the time that really propelled us to what some of the things that we're doing today that are just so incredible. And who knows what's going to be happening in the next 10 years. It's really exciting to think about, honestly. So 2 things that really, you know, were at the forefront. I do personally think this little Silly Symphony, the clock shop, is kind of a progression towards Toy Story and things coming to life while we're not watching. And I'm just so impressed with Fantasound and what they did with that, and how it really, you know, made the movie incredible at the time. So that's it for this day in Disney. Go check out Fantasia. Look into Fantasound if you're into all that technical stuff. There's lots of very technical information about what they were achieving. Oh, and I forgot to mention as well, they actually took it, you know, the speakers and everything, to theaters. It was a complicated process, but they were setting up this stuff on the road so that you could experience Fantasia with this sound quality that they had created. So they really put an effort into it. I don't know if you could really find that online or replicate that today, but go watch Fantasia anyway and watch the clock show.